Welcome to the LEC 2023 Winter Season Group Stage, live from Berlin, Germany. I'm Laure, and I'm here together with Goldberg and Ender to kick off the best of three stage of the split. We're back to best of threes, guys, and I'm really happy about this.
I was just thinking, like, we have not seen a best of three in over 2,000 days in Europe. We have BO1s and we have BO5s. That's crazy.
Yeah, Goldberg, excited about this?
Yeah, the fact that it's not even a playoff, you know, it's just the fact that this is group stage. We're chilling with best of three. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, new format, and I'm really hyped about this. And for those of you guys who missed what happened during the past 3 years and recap the regular season, Ender prepared a small presentation.
Yeah, you can call it that. Look, I wanted to talk you guys through everything that happened and welcome, really, to the beginning of the group stage where LEC teams will now be competing in their BO3s. We just talked about it. Wow, it's what you've always wanted, right? So now some of you may have just been tuning in, might not have heard. Excel didn't qualify, right? Yeah, it makes sense. The team that never makes playoffs didn't do it again, right? Surprise. But alongside them was Fnatic. So the Fnatic didn't. No, we don't need to come back. I know there's a lot of Fnatic fans out there, but what if I told you that we have a better Reckless? Yeah, better Reckless in playoffs. Yeah, I love that. Get on right there, but something better than this, right? Name's Exakick. Check this guy out right there. That is right. New name to the LEC, but he's named after the type of League of Legends he likes to play. He puts the X in extreme as he kicks your face in while he steals your heart. Statistically, he's one of the best performing players from the split, and he was a large part of what helped SK secure third sim. And look at those numbers. Bigger number, better person. He's like Reckless, but extreme. No. Get back here. Come on. Just a second. Come on. Yeah. Reel it in. Yeah, love it. He's cool. You need more spice in your life. Trust me, I get it. I understand. Well, let me tell you about BDS. Adam, right? That's a name that you weren't expecting, but these guys have been on a tear recently, and a lot of it is off the back of their top lane, Chad Adam. Well, he'll work on that, workshop that. Yeah, he's Darius player, by the way. Still does that thing, but now he's doing it and winning, right? Big surprise. I'm telling you guys, these are the players we need to watch. No, stop. Come back, fine. Wasn't gonna resort to such dirty tactics, but let me tell you about Bo, okay? Yeah, I got your attention now. Everyone knows about Bo coming in. The man had more deaths in his week 3 games than he did in weeks 1 and 2 combined. That's like crazy. He's like the definition of a carnivore jungler. Week 3, he was like a dinosaur in the asteroid came, but that was not good. He'll gank you, will steal your buffs, steal your lanes, steal your objectives, take your food, take your house. We're currently in the process of taking my job, and wait, no, that's a different jungler. That's a different jungler, right? Jankos, oh my god, Jankos, G2, Jankos, not anymore. He's fighting against Perks in our first best of 3. The former friends, now enemies, facing off to stay alive in intense competition. I heard rumors the Jankos even bought his own pool just to spite Perks. It must be true, I heard it. So, but that doesn't even scratch the surface, right, of what we got in store for this weekend of games. So, right, Excel are gone, Fnatic are deceased, but their teams, the teams that took their places are better, younger, more handsome. They were incredibly stylish clothes. They have luscious long hair, often enjoy standing in front of telestrators, doing their segments. I mean, they're great analysts for one of all. No, don't go, please. I promise, I'm really funny. No, stay, come on. Why are you doing this to me?
Ender, come back, please. That was really good. I love the way you pitched the whole group stage.
Fnatic's gone, and I just want someone to care still.
Let's talk a bit more about what happened during the regular season, actually, and the highs and lows of the first 3 weeks, as we start looking at the preseason tier list from Euphoria. And here,
you thought that was a joke? You thought that was a joke?
I would like to call out Dracos for not putting any team in S tier. That's kind of not believing in Europe so much.
Let's be real, Daniel, Dracos, that is a cop-out right there with the others actually pulling it
Betrayal
on the line. But yeah, I mean, I don't really think these tier lists can be blamed for the context they had when they were made.
Also, it just looks like everyone copied each other's homework. Everyone's like Astralis D tier. Everyone has the S tier the same. Like, maybe there's an Excel in A or B, but I mean, come on, guys. And if we're talking about being accurate, at least Dracos didn't put Koi in S.
Sure. True, but I mean, it's so hard to make predictions given like the new format and the fact that we didn't know how they would perform. But when you look at every team in C and D tier, they're actually the teams that made it in playoffs.
Yeah, and I mean, that's obviously a big surprise. I think SK as well. You just talked a bit about the bot lane as well, but we looked at the players. We had seen some of them last year, sometimes impressive, sometimes not, and we didn't really know what to expect yet of Exakick and DOS from what we've seen of European Masters. But my God, have they been performing, and they deserve their spot in the standings right now.
Yeah, one of the best bot lanes in the league right now, Enzo, or is it maybe too much for them?
I think, look, they've got a lot of competition down in the bot side of the map. I think they've been playing fantastic. Still, I think need to see a little bit more to prove themselves. But one player that I do think has absolutely put himself at the top of the conversation, Chatham in the top lane, right? Like absolutely smashing lanes. Like people, maybe you saw him and in the return, you'd be like, oh, you know, maybe he'll be playing better. No, this guy is playing fantastically at the top of top lane at the moment. He has just been so incredible, dominating lanes on the signature picks.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to continue talking about BDS, I think lots of surprises to come out of that team as well. Shio, for me, in the jungle, has actually been quite a big step up as well, who's really rose to the challenge. Nuke got even better than he was last year, and Crowny and Labrov, I mean, redemption arc for both of them coming in. They are definitely in my top 3 bot lanes right now. Great team at the moment.
Definitely, and it's really interesting to see that the younger players and the most rookie players are actually the ones performing the best in the LEC right now, because when you look at the other side of the table, Fnatic, for instance, not doing so hot at the beginning of the season, but I mean, in the first 3 weeks that we saw, they never found each other as a team.
I think this is a perfect combination of Fnatic not figuring it out early and also the format at play. The way LEC works now, it's less of like a league than it is like a quick form tournament, right? We play on a couple of patches. So if you don't figure it out early on, and Razork was sort of talking about like some draft issues, players overreaching once they started losing as well, like it's like danger alerts after just a single weekend that puts so much pressure on you, and Fnatic could never stand up on.
Yeah, I think one thing is, of course, is the champion pool, but honestly, we've had the same kind of bot lane meta that we've had for a really long time, so I feel like, you know, could upgrade that. I think the biggest one is that team play. I think the biggest one is never finding that identity, and obviously, when you only have that month to play with, and you don't find it, you're just going to end up in the position, and that's what happens.
And it's tragic for the team, because it's the first time ever in the history of the organization that Fnatic won't make it to playoffs and past a regular season.
Good content, though.
Unlike, good content. I mean, there has to be something, but unlike Excel, who's back not making playoffs, but even worse this time, 10th place. And given the expectations we had from the team, it's a disaster, crashed and burned completely.
Oh, no! Fifth time? I'll do you one better. We'll make it 10.
The meme is good, at least. But yeah, Excel, same way. I feel like the team was so disjointed. You see 5 players on the Rift who don't connect with each other at all.
No, not at all. And I think that this, again, it seemed like weird because they had this read. They really wanted to play through mid in the first week. Like the early aggressive jungle, like Vi Ahri was that pairing that stood out to me. And they just kept trying to like run back similar ideas to that. And I guess, you know, maybe they had different ideas of what was going on in scrims, but it seemed like this is a team that just, if they went back to the basics, they have so many strong pieces, like don't make it complex and you can make it through. But I mean, even the last game of the season, like they couldn't win that. What's up with that?
I mean, I just think there's a straight, clear pattern of the bottom teams, right? It's just a fact we never became a team, and therefore we can't play the game as we wanted to.
Yeah, let's see if they found the answers in the time they have to build the team. But now let's focus a bit more on 2023 season, because it's time for us to kick the winter season of the LEC Made Up Awards.
And with the regular season out of the way, we are honored to be putting the awards in the totally made-up LEC Awards. See, because it's in the name. Starting off with our first category, Caster of the Year. You can expect from casters to have great hit quotes, just like that one right there. You know, casters work so hard, year in, year out, honing their craft. The amount of VODs they have to watch, the amount of co-streams they have to operate just to earn an honest living. It's truly impressive what these casters can do. So, to honor our best caster of the season, your winner is Yankos.
Wait, what?
And Summer uses the heal.
It is a 2v2 kill.
Forward, it's a 2v2. It's not going to be enough. Who's going to die? It's a
Mickey has no
no flash. Mickey has no flash. Mickey's gonna get stunned here. And Lucian dashing in. Lucian doing his combo. Lucian gets another kill. 3 kills for Lucian.
I think you've got a future in casting.
Yeah,
this is fantastic.
Honestly, I think both Mark and I could leave and you could solo cast the rest of this game.
Basically like a coach streak with that point.
It's good.
Yeah, year after year, players come and steal your guys' job. I would be worried.
Turns out it's really easy. You just scream, Mickey, Mickey, Mickey.
I mean, yeah, and Jankos definitely has it. But moving to the second category, outstanding performance in a team arrival. This has been the most competitive we've ever seen in the category, and I'm sure you guys at home have your favorites, but our winner here tonight is Medic.
What?
Oh, okay, no, wait. It's the Medic that somehow found his way into Team SpeedyS shenanigans, and I guess he rolled with the meme. The question I have though is he a real Medic or paid actor here?
That?
I don't know. He looks like he was playing the part. I just can't imagine. You show up, you're an actor, you show up to your job, you get into the mind of a paramedic, you know, really trying to figure it out. And then there's just a stuffed animal on a stretcher. I don't know. Props to him, though. He pulled it off.
Yeah, super seriously and amazing. Finally, new in 2022, the inaugural award for Excellence Narrative-Based Delays, otherwise known as Caster Press the Start Game Award. We've heard from you guys at home, and we're happy to have delivered your expectations this year. And your winner is Dracos and Cajal, as they successfully managed to avoid pressing the game start button for a record of 7 minutes and 41 seconds.
Impressive.
Let's take a
Well
look.
done, boys.
Let's take a look.
And now there are casters talking, but not players playing, as there is a pause.
Just got into the game. 2 seconds in. That's quick. Slash pause in 2 seconds. Not bad.
Casters start game, casters start game.
Mad Lions have written in all chat ready.
Ooh.
So, I don't want to promise
To be fair,
anything.
they just wrote the letter R, but if you're a gamer, you know the lingo.
That was amazing.
Well done.
Yeah.
I was
Well
on the
done.
edge of my
Pressed up on
seat.
him,
Was he going to
really.
press him? Was he not? I don't
Almost
know.
had it.
Oh, my God.
That was a beautiful add-on, but that's all for us here with the totally made-up LEC Awards. And now it's time to look forward to the group stage and playoffs. With a quick format reminder, we have Dracos at the Telestrator. Take it away.
Dracos, start the Dracos, start the Telestrator!
Okay, they told me I'm not allowed to try and beat my record, but I could. I could wait 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 42 seconds to start this one. Anyway, we've been through the regular season. You've seen how tiebreakers work. You've seen how groups are assigned with that wonderful draw that we had last week. But now we're formally starting the group stage, and we thought it was important to talk to you a little bit of how best of threes and the group stage is going to work. To keep it simple, 2 losses and you are out, gone completely, 2 wins, and you move on to playoffs. So what does that actually mean? If we can get the sexy graphic up here for those of you who aren't following. Now, I'm just going to throw some random predictions out here. Don't hold me accountable. But let's say Vitality here beat out Team Heretics. Let's say Koi beat out SK. All right, both these teams at 1-1 now, they will play each other, whereas the teams who have both lost will play each other as well. Now, if we look at the upper bracket match, it's essentially a double elim bracket, the winner automatically moves to playoffs. In this case, that'll be Vitality, where in the meantime, Koi will be waiting for the winner of the losers match, both teams that are 0-1. So we'll just say SK win this one, and we'll have Koi versus SK for one more playoffs position. Bam, pretty simple. 2 wins in the case of Vitality at 2-0, and you're in. Koi lost a game, but managed to go 2-1 in the end, or SK actually managed to go there because I clicked the wrong button, but we'll say it's a bold SK prediction. Now we look at the bottom, we're gonna say the same thing plays out, and you'll see that as I'm doing this on the right-hand side, the playoff bracket will also be getting filled out. We'll just really quickly say Astralis, big Astralis fan. Well, they're gonna beat a lot of people, making some bold bets, bold predictions here. They're gonna be matched up against Vitality, Mad Lions going through down here. G2 insta eliminated, classic. Big disappointment there. Now Mad are gonna make playoffs as well, and there, quick and easy. 2 wins you're in, 2 losses you're out. You have your final top 4 playoff bracket. And reminder that teams are playing for something very big in winter. The winter champion will qualify for MSI 2023 in London and is guaranteed a spot in the LEC season finals at the end of the year. Big stakes, of course, as we move into the best of 3s. And we're starting off group stage with Vitality facing off Team Heretics in a battle between longtime teammates Perks and Jankos. So let's throw it over to Lore to introduce the LEC veterans.
4 LEC titles, 1 MSI championship, a Worlds Finals, and 2 semifinals appearances. During their 259 games together on G2 Esports, Jankos and Perks shaped a new era of European League of Legends, a level of success the region had never seen before. And today, the two veterans will be facing off in a best-of-3 series for the very first time with either of them on G2, fighting for a chance to meet their old friends in the Winter playoffs. And I'm lucky to have them with me ahead of this series. Thank you for joining me. Guys, how are you feeling ahead of today? Mood check, Perks.
Mood check, okay, I'll start. I think it's a 4 out of 5 today. Feeling pretty good. Not a very special day for me. Just another BO3.
Just another BO3. You literally just told me you think it never said BO3 in your life.
Okay, wait, let me rephrase. Just another game.
Another game. Does it make it special whenever you guys have to face off against each other? I see this picture here, and honestly, I'm so happy, and I think it's really wholesome that you guys stayed friends over the years. So is it anything special for you, Perks?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I like beating my former teammates more than I like beating other people. That's for sure true.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at the...
What about you, Jankos?
The head-to-head, before you go on, Jankos, the head-to-head between you guys facing off against each other is 14-9 in favor of Perks.
Yeah, I'm aware.
What do you have to say
So what I was
about
thinking
this?
about, like the past few days, or like, actually, yesterday I got invited for this interview, and I was thinking to myself, like, he's for sure gonna say that I never won against him in playoffs. Or he could say that.
But you did beat me in playoffs.
Really?
Last year with G2.
Last year,
Oh yeah, but last year,
got 3-0.
but you guys didn't. Oh.
In spring we got 3-0.
Oh, in spring got 2-0, and then the next time you didn't make play. Yeah, okay, but I mean like back in the day.
Yeah, back
in the day, yeah. So, you know, I want to change that kind of thing.
All right. Staying on the back in the day topic, thinking of G2 Esports and what you guys achieved together, what is the first memory that comes to your mind, Perks, when you think of what you guys built together and the fact that you shaped what was the best version of League of Legends in Europe?
I mean, MSI, right?
Yeah.
Surely. Even though also the Springs fit, because I remember when Jankos was joining G2, like I was telling him, yeah, you know, you join, I'll make sure I give you a title. And then we didn't win the whole year. so then we had a new year where we just won everything. That was nice. Yeah. That was probably the start was the most magical, I guess.
Yeah, I think this whole year was pretty impressive for Europe. Jankos, what is the takeaways you have from this time together that you spent with Perks at G2?
I mean, I think I learned a lot from Perks because I think when I joined Perks, I played with like multiple teams before, right? I mean, Rock and H2K, and I felt like I learned from him more about like how to lead the game and how to kind of not be so toxic when talking to your teammates. Because I used to be slightly toxic, even in my early 2018 days. I think I said something on stream about like Hjarnan and Wadid back then that was not the best thing to say, apparently. That's what I got told after. So yeah, many things definitely. Any
takeaways, Perks, on your side and learnings maybe from playing with Jankos?
I mean, yeah, I think you learn with everybody who you play with as well, right? So I definitely learned a lot alongside my teammates in 2019, 2020, and same with Jankos, right? So I think there was a lot of mutual benefits for all of us, I would say. So now it would be super fun if Mickey or Caps are on different teams so that we could see how does everyone fare when they have like no one from
just
the
like
past
one,
year.
Because Wunder didn't make
We don't talk about this.
Don't pay it, by the way.
I mean, thinking you mentioned the fact that you guys lived so many things together and you guys stayed friends. I know that they were all at your wedding, which is like super cool. Is it the first time you stay so close with former teammates and you think you have a special bond after this?
I mean, not the first time. I mean, I'm really close with all my teammates from 2016, 17 as well. They were also all at my wedding. But I guess it's like when you play with somebody for a long time, because with that roster I was for 2 years together, and same with this roster I was 2 years together. So we had a lot of like ups and downs, but mostly we had like a lot of wins, like a lot of success. So I feel like when you're winning a lot and you have a lot of success, you're just more likely to be bound by those memories and nostalgia and every good feeling that comes with it, right? Because let's say if we played for 2 years and we didn't win anything, okay, we probably wouldn't play for 2 years then.
Yeah.
Like probably wouldn't. We probably play for 1 year. Then we probably wouldn't be as close because there would be a lot more like unsolved issues, etc. You know. So yeah, I think we're really close and it's fun, you know. It's we have good friendship and good memories, so that will kind of keep us together for a long time, in that sense.
I'm really happy seeing this. It was like one of the best eras I think we saw in League of Legends. Jankos, coming back to the initial topic of today, you said that today is going to be different and you're actually going to beat the odds and maybe for once defeat Perks.
Well, I
in
mean, kind of
playoffs.
forgot about last year for some reason. I don't know why. Because I didn't remember Spring Split last year. But it's true that we lost to Fnatic and then we had like the whole
Lower bracket.
lower bracket round where we won against everyone. So maybe I didn't have to think about it after all. I wasted my thoughts.
How much of a visit you're going to pay to Perks on the mid lane today?
I mean, it depends. I think Ruby is pretty good, prepared, I would say, for Perks. So maybe I will not have to commit.
Sure, yeah.
But if I will be needed, I will be there.
I know exactly how Jankos plays. He's like a dog on a leash, you know.
I do think that
you whistle like Ruby's gonna be like, I can't lane. Can you come mid, please? And Jankos gonna be like, I'm coming.
I mean, I understand that, like, you know, you had like this whole thing that like you couldn't beat me last year, so you had to bring like a Chinese jungler, which is my kryptonite.
That's true, actually. Yeah, that is
so
true.
I understand you really want to beat me and you really want to show me that like LPL junglers are better than me, but I think
what's your win against LPL junglers, actually?
Oh my
God. Actually,
wait,
I have a better question. Have you ever won a game against LPL jungler?
Yeah, for sure. We won against RNG in 2018 together.
Okay, true. But actually, didn't they have Karsa?
Yeah, they did.
Oh.
So it doesn't count. Guys,
let's not think about
it. Let it sink in for a second.
Focus on the present, and well, we'll see you guys on the Rift and how you settle this one. Thank you for joining me today, and we'll let you go by to the team. And guys, Goldberg, Ender, tell us what you guys think about what they just throw here.
That was fire.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Straight fire. I don't know if I have many takeaways from it. Jankos against LPL junglers.
Yeah, there's some kind of
great interview, by the way.
Thank you very much. It was really funny getting to talk to them. But let's dive a bit more on the game itself and what's at stake here. When you look at the approach from Team Heretics, for instance, I know we've been discussing the fact that they don't have a clear identity. Do we still agree on that, and why?
So I think the reason why that, like we say, like they don't have a clear identity is the fact that their current identity isn't as strong as it could be, right? Quite often we'll see Epi on a bruiser carry K'Sante most of the time. Jankos is the flexible go jungler that can play pretty much everything, but most of the time will be facilitating. Ruby is a control mage player, and Jack Spectre and Mercer likes to be on playmakers. At least that's where we've seen them be most comfortable. I don't think so much it's the fact that they don't have a clear identity. I think it's the fact they haven't honed it. I think for Team Heretics, their biggest opponent today isn't necessarily Vitality. It's time, really, and the fact that they have a lack of it, they don't have enough of it right now to actually build upon their strength, and even more importantly, their teamwork.
I think it's really clear that when you have Jack Spectra and Mersan like a very aggressive bot lane, like you see them playing through bot side, right? Like Jankos looking for an early dive, early ganks, these types of things, and that works very well for them. My concern is if they don't have like as aggressive of a bot lane, where do the resources end up going on the map? Because typically Jankos doesn't play a ton around mid lane. The last time these teams played, it was a different story. But that for me is the question. Coming out of draft, can they show multiple different ways if they don't have that aggro bot lane?
Yeah, I agree with you. We'll see about this, but thinking a bit more of synergy when it comes to Team Heretics, what I want to say about this team is the fact that when they make a play, they make it together. When they die together as well.
This is true.
they don't often make the best decisions, but at least they go all in together.
Yeah, the funny thing, they have the most deaths at 14 minutes, but they also have the second highest kills. Like this team just fights all the time. Because when I saw that, I was like, wait, are they just dying solo? But no, that's actually not the case. They just commit to fights as 4 or 5 players so frequently. My concern is these fights don't often go super well for them. And in the late game too, they've lost games in base races that they've all in on and realized, wait a second, that's not a great choice.
That's the thing, right? It's great you can have kills second, but if your deaths are higher than the kills, that don't necessarily indicate that it's good fights you're taking. But I think that re-emphasizes the point you're making, and especially the late games. I think thinking back to the Fnatic game, where Jack Spectre and Mercer is around the mid lane taking inhibitors, Fnatic is up towards another fight there. It just speaks to a team who's not necessarily always 100% sure what the next play is, but they're doing it together, which is great for them, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess facing off against Vitality today, they're going to need way more discipline because when you look at the mid to top side for Vitality, and I'm thinking Perks, Bo, and Photon, this is when the team is the most solid. And here I'm talking about both as a group, but also individual strength.
Yeah, honestly, I just feel like Vitality is more developed as a team right now. I also just in general feel like their players are more developed compared to their counterparts. I think they will have an easier time, specifically Perks in that mid lane today. I really think will be a standout player against Ruby.
Especially because of how much I think Bo likes to play around mid lane. Like, Perks is a player, if you unlock him in mid, he'll move around the map, make plays on side, whether it's roaming on some crazy stuff or playing with Bo as well. They look at also Bo gets very excited at times, but I do think Photon as well has been stellar in the top side.
100%.
And when you focus on maybe a bit more the jungle matchup, I want to think back of what Perks was telling Jankos and the fact that LPL junglers are going to be his kryptonite. And I mean, Jankos is going to be against Bo today. So two completely different junglers, I would say.
That's the thing, right? Perks made the analogy that Jankos is a good dog on a leash.
Yeah.
I would make the argument that Bo then is the dog that's unleashed when he gets on the aggressive junglers. I think both junglers here has shown very clear strengths, but also very clear weaknesses. I think Bo recently, actually, when he's been on the facilitating junglers, especially the Vi, it's not been looking too hot, but you take that vice versa, those are kind of Jankos' bread and butter. He performs when he's the facilitator.
100%. That's absolutely where he shows up. And if Heretics are going to succeed today, it's going to be due to Jankos having some really successful early games. When these teams played against each other previously, in this Jankos-Bo matchup, there was a lot of attention put on mid. Heretics actually got the upper hand, and the game slipped away from them later. The early game looked very solid from them. Top lane as well. They had an Ebby solo kill, so the early game is something they can potentially come away with, but they have to be able to carry that forward.
Yeah, but I also think some of that came down to the draft we saw at the point in time as well. I think draft especially is going to be really important today. Team Heretics is a messy team, and I think they need to rely on comfort because, well, as we said earlier, they are not as developed, and I think that will come into play today. So ease of execution for Heretics, or else I think they'll get run over by Vitality.
Quick prediction here, maybe for...
So, okay, the quick one for me is the fact that Heretics is a messy team that wins games they shouldn't win and lose games that shouldn't be lost. Vitality in the late game has been super messy against the likes of Excel as well.
Okay.
You pair that together, okay, you get a fraction where I think Team Heretics will win one game. And then Vitality will win two.
Bold,
yes, 2-1 to Vitality is my prediction.
Okay,
well,
we'll see
I'd probably
how.
say 2-0 and not give you any reason why.
All right, well, we'll see how this one plays out as it's time for us to get into the first best of three of the first time since 2017 in the LEC. And without further ado, let the LEC 2023 winter season game group stage begin.